G'day, welcome back to another episode. In this episode we're just going to go back through the hives. As in last episode we gave them all a feed, so what we want to do is just check and see what the bees have done with it. From experience, what we should see is a lot of nectar storage, a lot of insulation from what the syrup has done entering the hive, as well as should see the queen has sparked up some laying, and we should see some nice tight egg laying patterns. So yeah, we'll get right into it and see what's going on. Still got some syrup. So we'll just start on this one. Got some syrup up the top there. Got a bit of syrup up the top. A bit of a scattered brood pattern. So that's on the outside. You'll find that most of the broods around here. So you can see here the bees are putting up the syrup up the top here, like in that last video. That's what we're wanting them to do. You see they're kind of putting all in the brood, but what they'll do is they'll just kind of put it anywhere, and then over time they'll gradually pull it out and put it where they want it. So it's a bit hard to see, but there is new eggs right here. So the queen has just started laying. But you know, there's still not a lot of syrup in there. They still do have some to pull out from the top feeder, but we might actually give them a bit more, seeing as this is a bit light. This hive is still. So you can see there's also new eggs here as well. It's a bit hard to see with a quite dark comb, but yeah. Quite a bit of brood here, still a bunch to hatch. So once all this brood hatches, you know, this population is going to increase quite a bit, which is what you want. It'll increase the hive's ability to actually insulate the hive, as well as pull the syrup a bit faster. So on this end frame, you see last time it was just pollen, but now we got nectar up the top here, but still we want more. You know, you got an empty side on this frame. So we'll probably give this hive a little top up Bees are very calm. It's heavy. So you can see they're putting a bit down the bottom there as well, so that's some syrup they've put. And then you've got some syrup filling up this bit here as well. Move this out. Just go through the hole. So you got brood mixed in here as well. You got syrup over here, but what I can see is new eggs over there. It's a bit hard to see, kind of mixed in there. It's a bit hard to see how calm these bees are, but the queen's laid this all out. And the queen's just over here. Lovely looking queen, but she's laid all this out, so you can see with that increase in syrup, it's instantly triggered the queen to start laying. Yeah, all this is all laid out, so all this open, all this emerged brood here, she's laid all in there. So you got new eggs all through there. It's exactly what you want. Increase that hive's population, will increase the hive's overall insulation as well. And look at that. So you got pollen here. I remember last time it was just pollen and a little bit of brood, but all the syrup is all put everywhere, which is good. The bees will then re-put it once they've got all the syrup out. Yeah, the queen's laid all in there as well. All through there. It's looking really good. It's amazing what a feed does to a hive. So you can see this hive in comparison to the hive we just viewed, you know, this has probably got 2 or 3 frames worth of more bees. More bees able to look after more brood. More bees means more incoming pollen and able to get the nectar and syrup out of the top feeder much faster with more bees. Able to help your hive out in less time. This hive's looking really, really good. A lot of pollen, a lot of new brood over there. Just what you want to see. A hive responding to resources entering the hive. Yeah, full frame syrup in there. Just give it a little shake, get the bees off so we can look at, so you'll be able to see all the new eggs she's laid over in this corner. You know, she was pretty much laying a small amount last time we checked, but with the syrup feed she's gone straight in there and started laying. And you can see the bees are putting the nectar up in the corners like as I was illustrating last time. That's exactly where you want it. Bees looking nice and healthy. See, what's now going to happen is these bees over here are going to emerge, and then they'll use this frame as just a nectar source frame, and then on this side you've got another frame of capped brood. So this hive is going to be quite strong once all this brood emerges, which is great. You know, a higher population hive going into winter is always the sort of setup that you want your hives to be. Another frame of brood. But as you can see, you know, you've got this all encompassed by nectar and syrup. You've got syrup that they've put down here, and they're really sort of confining that brood pattern into this nice circle in the middle of the frame, and again here as well. Beautiful, beautiful. This is what you want to, this is what you want to see. This is the sort of ideal setup. And then on this you'll have your 2 frames of honey added as your pink bats, and that's just your sort of insurance. Beautiful. So this is what I want those other hives to look like. So I'm trying to get those other hives to look like this hive, and then we should really have a good setup for winter. There's some syrup in there, but not a whole lot. So you got new eggs in there, but you see they're just starting to put syrup up the top, and then they're going to come down here, around here, but the queen's laid all in here. We'll just put this one out for a minute. Nice little frame. There's some syrup in there, but taking a while to get it out, which is annoying. Got some new eggs in here, but I think because the bees are taking a while for the syrup to pull the syrup, the queen isn't really responding to that influx. Yeah, so you still haven't got much here, but the queen has laid in there. Really need these bees to pull the syrup faster, and the queen can actually realize that, you know, they're on a flow, so she responds by increasing her population, so increasing her laying. Yeah, the bees are pulling it and putting it there. Bit more brood, but again, need more. Got a lot of new bees here, just emerging. Yeah, still not a lot of syrup. You can see they've influxed it down the bottom here, but pretty much need double this. Probably give them a bit more in the feeder so they can pull it faster. But you know, we've still got a lot of brood production, but I would like them to have a bit more syrup storage. They're kind of doing it here, they've got it around here, but you really need it up in the corners and in quite a bit more areas. It looks like they've just kind of started pulling it, but they've had a week to do it. But with winter being just around the corner, you know, days getting shorter, days are getting colder, so the bees don't particularly like moving away from their heat source. But you see they've filled this frame up, so they're just kind of working on the outsides at the moment. Okay, and then the last two is just your honey insurance. So we'll put this back. So we've got a lot of capped honey here, so we've got quite a few insurance frames on the sides. So we'll just work our way to the brood to see what's going on, see what sort of patterns we're getting. Yep. So we've got the syrup coming in the over here, and then they're just cramping this brood pattern into a nice little ball there. And they've got brood emerging here, but this will probably just turn into syrup. And they'll have all the brood sort of cluster around these main frames here. So you can see the bees are putting the syrup. You can see last time we had this sort of break here, but they're just starting to fill it. They've got kind of scattered all over the place. But you've got the queen laying right in the middle now, which is good. And we get some storage here as well, but I can still do a bit more. So oops. pattern there. You got your queen just up here, just coming under my thumb. Some more brood there. Really plugging up the cells with syrup, which is good, which is what we want. And in this brood frame there is a bit of newly laid eggs, so that's good. So the queen's responding to the influx in syrup, which is what we want. So the queen's laid all right in the center where those bees are hovering around the middle. Really starting to store that syrup. That's good. Right, well that's the end of the episode. The hives aren't pulling the syrup as fast as I wanted, but with winter the populations of the hives have dwindled quite substantially from the high of summer. So less workers, less bees means it's going to take longer for the bees to pull the syrup. But what we have seen is that they are getting some good syrup storage, and the queens are responding to the influx in syrup, and you've got new eggs, and the brood is really starting to sort of cluster together. But what we will do is we will top up the hives that need a little bit more syrup in them for that overwintering level that we want them to get to. So yeah, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date with how they're going